Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Conversation. Today, we have Brad Swaim. He's of Knight Composites, and we're going to talk a lot of wheels today. So, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Brad.
Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Good. You going by Starla today?
What's that?
You going by Starla today?
Oh, is that what it's under? I must be logged into my wife's account for some reason.
Okay. Yeah. So welcome, man. How was the week go?
Busy. The way of the world right now, the bike industry.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when COVID hit, I thought it was going to destroy the bike industry, and turns out everybody wanted to get on a bike. So
Yeah, that's the way most of it went.
So tell me, how did Knight Composites actually form? What was the beginnings of this?
So Knight originally was formed in 2014, and it was a Bend, Oregon-based company, and so two of the founders, one of them was working at Envy at the time, and he had been in the industry for quite some time. He was at Reynolds when Reynolds was the big name in carbon forks, so he had a wealth of carbon knowledge. And then the other one was a executive at Felt. So those two got together and they thought, well, we can make a nice wheel and wheel company. So those two owned it until 2019, when they decided they wanted to go in different directions. And so then the Janus Cycle Group purchased Knight Composites, and everything was moved from Bend, Oregon to Boulder, Colorado here. So everything now is done internal here in Boulder. So yeah, it was a nice transition in that regards.
Is the Bend, Oregon ties have a lot to do with why you Jesse Thomas and Heather Jackson rode on Knights?
Yes, that they were locals there. So yeah.
Okay. Now, tell me a little bit more about your wheel design. And you have this teams concept. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. So pretty much the wheels are, we kept the same designer on contract for our design and our wheels. So he's based out of Canada, and then so he does everything for us in the way of new models, redesigns, that sort of thing. So that aspect is where we are lucky to keep him on as a designer, to where the brands and the knowledge and the design will continue in the same fashion going forward. Notably, their big claim to fame was they designed the Cervelo P3 when it originally debuted 10-12 years ago. So we have a same design team behind us as well. So we're lucky there.
Yeah, it's a pretty good bike. So I also noticed that you use it says it was EPS manufacturing and molding. How did that come about? I mean, I understand how the process works, where you kind of like inflated sacks to kind of smooth out the area so you don't get kind of hollowed out, like to kind of get smoothness to the rim. How did you guys come up with all this?
So originally, the design, back when they started in 2014, that most wheel manufacturers were using a bladder style technology in their molds. And a lot of bike manufacturers were starting to, or frame manufacturers were starting to move towards the EPS. And the difference is that EPS uses a foam core that can be, that under pressure is burnt off to where you don't have anything left inside. You don't have to have a relief hole for the rim to pull out a bladder. So with that, the foam mold can lay down the fibers better. So if you've ever cut a piece of carbon in two and looked on the interior, that there's still fibers sitting there, even though it's smooth on the exterior. So that EPS foam mold, since it's pushing on the inside as well instead of a bladder, lays down those fibers far better. So when they started putting this technology together back in 2014, 2015, they thought, well, this is going to be a better layup, and they can control the fiber when it is laid up. So, that is still used today through our production facilities.
So it's kind of like I do some 3D printing every now and then, just as a hobby. It's kind of like how you burn off. Well, you use an acid or type of some kind of dissolving material to get rid of all the support structure to leave behind the actual printing. Similar concept.
Similar, yeah.
Okay.
Similar concept, yeah.
Now, I really like your what is it? Is it the 50 millimeter clinchers that you have? I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
Sure.
any? Do you have any anticipation of coming up with a full disc wheel?
Right now, since we don't have any athletes that are in need of a disc wheel, like we're not going to have it probably in the next year or so. I mean, never say never to anything, but right now, the 65 and 95 are the deepest that we have had. And we're also, those models up until recently have not been tubeless compatible. So we're in the process of trying to bring those redesigns up in the coming year with tubeless ready.
So what other future plans do you have for Night Composites?
Well, I can't divulge everything, but pretty much what I can say is that on the road side, that like I said, redesigning the 65 and 95 to our patented TLA design is a must. And then we have other things on the horizon. Just with COVID and the shows and everything for 2020 being kind of put on hold, we put some of those projects on hold as well. So we're kind of at a crossroads of whether we release them this year and go forward, or we hold off a little further. So there's always things in the works for sure.
Now, are you looking on trying to bring on more athletes to sponsor too? Because I know Jesse retired, so that would only
Slowly.
leave Heather.
Yeah, well, Heather's not with us any longer. We weren't, unfortunately, with the transition, we weren't able to keep her on. With that, we for 2021, we've taken on the title wheel sponsor for the Rodeo Labs Pro Gravel Race Team. So that is a fast bunch of guys and girls that are racing gravel throughout the U.S. So that we are super excited about having those guys on board, racing our wheels. And then we're working on signing an ITU athlete that should come to fruition here soon, that will be racing on night wheels as well. So, we kind of scaled back just like everybody else did in the way of sponsorships and athletes, and when COVID hit for 2020, but we're slowly looking to the mindset of increasing that. Obviously, we've kept Katie Compton on, and we're grateful to have her, 15-time national U.S. cyclocross champion. So we're stoked to have her and stay on the brand and continue with her moving forward. So.
So your gravel bike wheels are probably the most popular ones you have, correct?
I would say like behind me, that's a 35 TLA. That's probably our most popular model. The 50 depth right after, and then the gravel wheel set. Those are probably our three bread and butters. We also in 2019 released an alloy disc wheel set that does really well at a nice price point for what it is.
Now, are your hubs able to be swapped out the bearings with like ceramic bearings on those, like with Ceramic Speed or another competitor?
No, like our hubs are similar design to a lot of the industry where you can pull the end caps and swap free hub bodies. But the design is not, it doesn't have DT internals or anything along those lines to where you can put in another manufacturer's bearings. It was designed in the thought process as a price point hub. So it's similar in price, functionality, serviceability to a DT Swiss 350. So similar hoops on our night hubs retail for $16.99. So it's good price point entry level wheel set, but we can do custom on almost any hub manufacturer.
Okay. Well, Brett, thank you for meeting with me today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.